Hello, this is Ms. DB. In this video, we are going to continue our work using exponents. So I've already opened this section that matches this worksheet in the textbook using exponents part 2. And now we're going to talk about exponents or powers that have variable bases. So they have an x or a y. So again, it's repeated multiplication. Exponents are a shortcut to writing multiplication many times. So we could write x to the fifth as x times x times x times x times x, but that's a lot of work. It's a shortcut to write x to the fifth power. So over here on your worksheet, I have a box that explains that x is the base, and in this case 2 is the exponent. So the 2, the exponent, tells us how many times to repeatedly multiply the base, how many times the base will be used as a factor. And here's some examples. X to the first power, we usually just write that as x, but we could write it as x to the 1. X to the second power, we can call that x squared. If you're going to use expanded form, that would be x times x, and that's x squared. You might note that there isn't another column for the value. That's because we can't find the value when the variable is the base. So we don't know what x to the fifth is, like what number it is, unless we say that when x is equal to 3 or something like that. Usually we will just be simplifying these expressions, not evaluating them. The first part of your worksheet, you are going to write these with exponents. They are right now, they're in expanded form. You're going to change it to exponential form. So you need to write the base, and then the exponent will be how many times this has been repeatedly multiplied. And you can count them out. I'm going to do number 2 because it's easy for me to count those b's. There is 2 of them, so I'm going to write b to the second power. Now, how do you do that in Word? If I was doing it with a pen, I would just write b to the second power with the 2 up here like that, little and up to the right. When you're typing, there's 2 options. You can write b and then you can go shift and the number 6 gives you that little caret that's pointing up. It looks like a little up arrow. That means that an exponent is coming. So you would write b and then you put that symbol and then 2. Again, it was the shift key plus at the same time the 6 key, and you'll see it on your keyboard. That's how you find that. The other way to do it is to use the formatting tools in Word. So if I click up here in this tool menu to the home page, I will see, look, it's an exponent right there. It's the superscript, or how to get an exponent. So I've already clicked it once, that's all I have to do. And then now when I type a 2, it automatically puts it where it belongs. You need to click it again, otherwise everything else you type is going to stay little and to the right like that, which you don't want. So now it's back to normal fonts. So there's either one of those ways to make an exponent if you're typing. If you're writing, you would write it this way. Okay, then our next section, which is also matching in the book. See this right here? This example is the exact same as this example. So I'm just going to make this a little bigger for us. All right, so we have here that we have m to the third power, and then because it's in parentheses, that means we're multiplying, times m to the second power. So these are both m. They both have the same variable base. So it's going to be easy to simplify this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite m to the third in expanded form. That would be m times m times m. I'm also going to rewrite m to the second power in expanded form. That would be m times m. We don't really need the parentheses. We could rewrite this without the parentheses and just have m times m. If you want dots, you can, or you can just write them next to each other. How many m's do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can now use exponents to rewrite this as m to the fifth power. So again, exponents let us do this quicker. It's a shortcut. You don't have to write so much stuff out. Now there's actually a rule for this. If you have the same variable bases, if the bases are the same, you really just have to add the exponents. Let's do that with this example here. We have x to the 6th times x to the 3rd. So if I wrote it out in expanded form, which I don't want to do forever because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy to lose track of how many x's you have. And then x to the 3rd is 3 more of them. And now we would count how many we have. There's 9 of them. So this is equal to x to the 9th power. But it's quicker to use this rule that says if the bases are the same, and in this case they're both x, then we can just add their exponents together. 6 plus 3 is 9. So that's the shortcut rule for this. You don't have to use the shortcut rule. You can write them out in expanded form, or you can use the shortcut rule. So you're going to do that for number 6 through number 12. I'll do it for number 12. Number 12 says y to the 4th times y to the 5th. So again, you could write out all of the y's in expanded form. I think I've got them all. And then you could count them. Oh, it's 9 again. I keep doing ones that are to the 9th power. Or you can use the rule that says 4 plus 5 is 9. And if you're typing, remember that you can either use from the home page the formatting that lets you put an exponent in, or you can write y and then push that shift and the 6 key at the same time and then put your exponent after that. Okay, there's one more thing we're going to look at in this worksheet, and that is when you raise a power to another power. So let's look at this in expanded form. And again, this matches the example from your book. So we have x to the 2nd power raised to the 3rd power. So in expanded form, that means x to the 2nd power times x to the 2nd power times x to the 2nd power, because to the 3rd power means that we have to repeatedly multiply it 3 times. But x to the 2nd is equal to x times x. And then we have another one of those, so another x times x. And then we have another one, so another x times x. If we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 6 x's. So that's x to the 6th power. We're repeatedly multiplying the base of x 6 times. So there happens to be a rule for this too. When you are going to raise a power to another power, then you can multiply their exponents. So if we took 2 times 3, that's 6. That's the shortcut. Now you need to be careful because we learned 2 rules here. One of them is what to do when you are multiplying variable bases and the bases are the same. Then the rule is to add the exponents. The second type of problem is when you have a power, like x to the 2nd, and you're raising it to another power. See, there isn't 2 bases being multiplied here. It's just one base, and it's being raised to a power and then to another power. That's when you can multiply the exponents. If you forget these rules or when you can use which one, you can always write this in expanded form. So let's do number 13. In expanded form, x to the 2nd to the 4th power means x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd. And I could rewrite that in expanded form as x times 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 x. And then you can count up 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will be your exponent. How many times you multiplied that over and over is your exponent. The shortcut is if I had just taken 2 times 4, I would have gotten 8 that way. So there's 2 ways to do these. You can do the expanded form or you can use the rule. One more quick rule. Any number, any variable, anything raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 equals 1. And you can check it on your calculator if you want. Anything, let's make it really long, to the 0 power is equal to 1. And you'll learn more about why in Algebra 1.5 class. All right, well, thank you very much. Good luck on your worksheet. Don't forget to save it and turn it into the folder in Blackboard when you are done. Have a great day.